Good morning. It's the Wall Street Weekly Wrap Up, December 7th, 2024, with your host, John Newquist. And it was a momentous week. We had a couple things break some records. So let's get into it this week. NovaCore announced positive results for treating pancreatic cancer. Again, they're going to use magnetic tumor treating fields as a great thing as far as results in brain cancer. And when it got announced, you can see the stock just jumped 47%. I mean, wow. We knew this company was good. And we've been waiting, and now we got rewarded. Where are we going to hold it? We're going to hold it for a long time because they're not done. They have several other trials going through, and I think they're going to do well. Someone's going to buy them at probably $100, a couple years from now. But they're doing pretty good work on cancer stuff. Bitcoin, boom, 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 $100,000. We were buying it right around over here, this area around here. We had bought it over here, way back when, at 16, 18,000, and we sold too early at 27. Because the chart looked bad. But I've come to the conclusion you cannot use charting on Bitcoin. It is just immune to charting, and I see the trend lines with stocks. It works, but it doesn't work for Bitcoin. So we also added some Solana. I think these altcoins are going to go in there: Solana, Cardano, Ethereum, possibly even Dogecoin, and everything else. So this has been a tough resistance. A lot of people were talking about this could go 4 or 5 months. You think about it like this. The 70-some thousand, we went almost from March to August. We couldn't break that $72,000 barrier. When it broke, it just went up. There's going to be a lot of selling. There's going to be a lot of selling, consolidation in the Bitcoin market. But I think what people are missing is Bitcoin's way up compared to the other ones, and the other ones will catch up eventually. So, you got into Bitcoin, that's good. And people ask how much you're going to put in. I says no more than 2.5. If we have 40 stocks, 2.5% is it's a stock. It's a trading thing. Indicators, interest rates finally coming down a little bit. Holy smokes. They're looking at a Fed rate cut this next week or so, and I hope it comes down because, the interest rates are pretty low. Crude oil, boy, coming down hard. I put the chart up, but you can see it's slowly trickling up and down, up and down. But this is going to go below 65. I don't know. The question is, will the Saudis keep their promise they made a couple months ago and say we're going to, drill and release more oil in December? I don't know. They're watching that too. Remember, the oil companies are all making money. Saudis are making money, so don't feel sorry for anybody in the the oil business. Natural gas, it's $3. It's it's still above it. It's strong. It's cold. I don't want to say we went through like 9 days below freezing. Today was the first day above freezing in 9 days. So, the people's heaters and stuff. And I had friends like, oh, I can't get the furnace working. I call the furnace guy, and it's bad. Gold has been pretty flat. Been around the 26. Remember, we were at 2,700 on it. Silver, same thing. Copper a little bit better. A little bit better. 0.5 up today, but going a little bit toward. We don't want 450 copper is what got a good economy. And then our portfolio, they got another thing on Schwab, 45% year to date. That's pretty amazing. Well above our S&P benchmark of 27%, which hit a new high. Which the Nasdaq also hit a new high. Look at this. Broke the ascending wedge. A lot of times, people don't like that wedge. I tell them I don't like it when it goes down. But the slope is okay for the Nasdaq. It's okay. They've done well. You got the low of August, and so you're thinking about maybe 430, and you're up to 520, 30% since August. Wow. But this is heartburn. Goes up, comes all the way down, all the way up, comes all the way down. Nothing like a slope. This little slope. People would love that if that was the Nasdaq, kind of go up there, but no, you're going to have big drops. And we are thinking we're going to get another drop. We went from mid-April to mid-July. and we should have a drop around here somewhere, but it hasn't happened. So remember, 5 to 20% drop in the S&P 500 by January 20th is what my model shows. So everybody says we're going to get a Santa Claus rally, and when everybody says it, it doesn't happen some days. Intel, Pat Gelsinger, you know, it's tough. Intel's just a mess, and we sold our Intel. I mean, we didn't make any money on it. I mean, it just, we bought it low. I mean, geez, we buy it around in this collapse right here, and slowly, essentially got it up there. It got up to 25, but a lot of people didn't see Gelsinger getting fired. When they announced it was 24, it closed at 20, so, we got out. And what's Intel going to do? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Intel can make it now. I think they're very disorganized, and I don't know if you can get somebody in that industry to come over and fix it, but we'll see. So could it go lower? Sure. We're near the lows already. I could see it get down right on here, 18, 19. It's something to watch. I mean, they got business. It's just that they're not organized. And he said he retired. Well, they forced him out. Merck breakthrough designation. Anytime you hear the word breakthrough designation therapy, it's a good stock. Merck has got a pipeline. They like the news on that. Treating people with lung cancer. And lung cancer is the #1 killer of all the cancers in the United States. So anything helping is going to be positive, because we're not talking like 50 people. We're talking 500,000 plus on lung cancer, and that's the ones who died. What about the 3, 4, 10 million that are getting treatment for it? So safe and effective. This form of lung cancer, and that's good, and good addition to park. I really, we're overloaded on health, because I firmly believe AI will break and open up a lot of new therapies, and be able to take all the research across the world and say what's worked before, so you don't have to repeat the wheel, and talk about different methods to treat it, and you can't read it all. So this is a pretty amazing thing. Salesforce, we're not in it. We have Big Jim in it, but it hit a new high. It missed the guidelines. 8.3 revenue, good. High PE. Whew. Just like Tesla, 150 PE. I mean, you can buy it. It's you got a high risk. I mean, it's real high PE. I mean, is it going to grow into it? I don't know. So, they make money. They're good. It's just one of those stocks I just can't get into. I'm just never, been I think we owned it one time in 20 years, so. Not a bad stock. It does well, but it seems always pricey. And, like I said, we came up with this 50-day moving average. It went down below it. It's come above it. That's not what we want to have. We don't want big drops like this in July where they're having problems. So I would like a little bit smoother stock, Unemployment rate, 4.2%. 200,000 jobs added. Pretty amazing. I started looking at this, the housing collapse of 2007 and 8, and then the COVID thing. Wow. Are we going to get another spike? Well, this went from almost, 11 years. So if it came down from this peak, that would put us like 20, 31-ish. Some people are thinking the roaring 20s of the 1920s are going to repeat, and the crash of 1929 is going to appear in 2029. Oh boy, I don't know. If we had thousands of years of data, I could look at it, but you can't take one data point and say it'll happen again. Materials is our 14th sector, our last of our 14 sectors. XLB is the material area. Again, we made it a little more different. You make materials for companies to go out and sell. Stocks have done well. Look at this. I mean, we're not doing bad at all in the material sector. I mean, it's going up. We own FCX, 16% growth rate. New gold miner, of course, almost all gold has jumped up, considering gold has jumped up, and mining more as they can fast it. Clorox, you have to remember, last year Clorox was negative, but everybody was in the material sector was negative. So we got to pick one. I just think Clorox is well managed, and so as demand for chlorine and everything else and cleaning, that's going to be good. Water treatment, a lot of people use it. Philip Morris, I think they're doing a lot of right. If they ever let Philip Morris in the marijuana business, they're going to come out with better stuff than these, local little guys, and that's what everybody wants to keep out. But I don't know how you can do that. Eventually, there's going to be a lawsuit, and they're going to be allowed to compete with their vapes and stuff, So, but look at ADM. I mean, it was a big loss in there. I don't know what's going on with ADM. And then, different ones, we look at. I mean, a lot of recovery coming out of the materials sector. It's been an uptrend. That's why we look at the 200-day moving average on it. XLB's been a good stock. Good stock to own. That's not tech. So FCX, Freeport-McMoRan, 1.4 dividend. I watched Jimmy say, this is time to go off. And I was like, well, number one miner of copper and gold. I'm not getting rid of it. I like it. If I got to take a material stock, we've been in FCX for a long time, and it goes up. You just got to have heartburn, and you just hope for a gradual increase. What we're looking at is it's a slow climb, and we already had the 20-day and the 50 days at the death cross, as somebody would call it. But I don't know. I like the company. It's done well, and it's a cyclical. Gold and copper are cyclical. If the economy comes good and copper's up, they're going to do better. China's going to restrict a lot of the rare earth metals, which we have a shortage of. And of course, the one that I thought was pretty interesting was antimony, used in missile systems and everything else. And Russia and China, the top three, has three of the companies that are the top in there. Tajikistan has one, and then Canada's got a big unproven reserve of antimony that's out there. Nothing really in the United States, but people, antimony's going to be rare. Go to U.S. Antimony and shoot it up like a rock. I mean, come on, it's a penny stock. Penny stock. You could have had this thing for 40 cents, and now you've got all this money. Don't chase the parabolic. It's not going to be worth it, They're not in the top 5 of producers. They're not out there like Freeport-McMoRan, number 1 in gold, number 1 in copper. These is a little player. So this is just hype, and stay away from the hype. And then Phillips Morris, and I know some people just will not buy his typical stuff, but it's got other stuff. And like I said, the dividend when we bought it was 8%. So whatever we own is making 8%. And of course, it's been going up, and so the dividend will go down as the price goes up. And a solid trend line. I think they would do real well, in marketing to kids, and like I said, the tobacco products that are in the can are really hot. The non-tobacco even hotter. The URA, the uranium deposit of everybody that's in the uranium business, from reactors to miners and everything else, and tough time breaking this 34 barrier. I just watched Meta sign a big agreement with a power company on renewables in Louisiana. See, they're talking a lot of money that this is going to be for these data centers, and they need electricity that's going to be sustainable, and nuclear is going to be it. So I mean, we've got a double play with Constellation and URA, but I just think, like I said, it pays 5% dividend. I'm like, wait a minute, ETF paying that kind of dividend? That's pretty good. But it's good. I think, you got to look long term, and maybe 5-10 years it's going to be double, which would be fine. And then, of course, Nucor, I think the best managed steel company, not USX and not Cleveland Cliffs. And I think Nucor is the best. And, of course, the steel industry is just ugly right now. Oversupply, production's down across the world, and, Europe and China are dead. It's kind of like flat markets and stuff. So this is going to be an area. I mean, if they ever tank it back to $80 like they did during COVID, we're going to hop on this thing. But I don't know. It's right now we can wait. It's everything is below the 200-day moving average, and could it get lower? Sure. When you get charts like this, you could get on $100. I don't know. There's some number. I know at 80 we're going to buy it, but if it's at 100, I'd probably think about it too, because $200 when it was doing going gangbusters could happen again. So you get 50% off this stock that was that hot in April on good fundamentals, until the global economy slowed down. So that's what you want to do. So just buy it at the lows, and then you can ride it up, and you're not too worried about if it gets these cyclical motions and stuff. Our heat map, as you can see, not a bad week. A lot of flatness, as I call it. Amazon was up, and Meta was up, and Google was up, and Nvidia a little bit down. Walmart is good. A lot of red though. You can see a lot of stuff was in the, slightly negative. A lot of people are going to do portfolio adjustments. We sold Rivian, Intel, and Baidu. I mean, I did not want to sell Baidu, but China is in trouble. And Rivian, everybody's saying what's going to happen with the EV tax cuts to 7,500. I don't know. If it doesn't happen, you could figure Rivian could be half the value. So let's wait a while on Rivian, because, if you guess right, you're going to do well. If not, you might have a 50% haircut on it. We'll get the healthcare ones that we're worried about in the area. I still keep the Franklin Templeton China Fund. I still think China's got the appetite. They put a lot of money. Maybe we'll see a stimulus. It's one of those things that a week from now you could be up 50%. Otherwise, it'd just be flat. So that's it for this week. Stay warm. It's finally above freezing, and I hope you have a good week, and we'll do well next week. Thank you. Bye.